Hi everyone, this is Raquel from scrapcosy. Today I'm going to show you how to create this card, which is made out of diamonds, which are stitched with a sewing machine. The first thing that I'm going to do is a template. For that I'm doing lines at 1.5 inches all in parallel, and then what I'm doing is turning the paper around 30 degrees and then do again the same action, which is parallel lines at 1.5 inches. And now that I'm done, I'm going to show you the papers that I use for the card, which are in browns and creams. So then let's start and create the diamonds. For that, I put the template back in the same place, and then the first thing that I'm using is a stripe, which is 1.5 inches. So then I just have to align it to one of the lines and mark the other lines. So then I will have the diamonds created. In that way, I can reuse papers that otherwise I wouldn't know how to use. I'm doing the same thing with other papers until I have all the diamonds completed. For this case, I'm using an A4 paper, which is bigger than the template, as you can see. So then, because I don't know where that line finishes, I'm using that stripe of paper to know where it more or less ends, so then I can place properly the paper on the score ball, and then I'm continuing marking all those lines at 1.5. Okay, this is my last paper, so then now that I have all of them completed, I'll show you how they look like. And now all I have to do is cut them, so then I get the actual diamonds. Well, if you see, I'm cutting far more diamonds than what I need to cover this card, but well, that's okay. Then I will use them in another card if I want to. And now that I have all of them cut, the next step is to create the base where they will be sticked. So now I'm marking at 5.5 by 4.25 to make this base. And then I'm cutting with the scissors. And what I will be doing is to know where the center is, so then everything is symmetric, I will mark the center. So at 225 by 275. And that will be my center, and then I'll start putting the first diamond and then the other ones around it. So now I'll start playing with the diamonds and see what is the design that I like most. And once you have a design that more or less you like it, the ideal thing is to take a picture of it. And now I'll start sewing some of the diamonds with the sewing machine. So the first thing that I'm doing is bringing down the needle. And once it's down, I sew until the end of the edge. Then I will pull up the leg of the sewing machine with the needle down. That's very important. So then you can actually turn the paper very easily. Okay, so then I'm doing the remaining sides, all of them, and once I'm done, I just remove the piece of paper and pull a little bit the thread, and that's it. So we have the first one done. It's not perfect, but it's okay. You'll see that even if the lines are not perfectly straight, they will look okay in the overall card. So I carry on with the next one. Okay, and now that we have some of them, we will focus on the design. So now that we have some of them, we will play around with the design. And since I don't know exactly where I will be positioning all of them, I'm using this adhesive, which is not permanent. So it's temporary, like if it was a post-it note, right? So what I'm doing is sticking it to the back and then moving them here and there. And as you see, not all the diamonds will be completed because they are going outside of the card, right? So what I will be doing is cutting the excess of them, and then I will just be sewing the remaining of them. And yes, you're right, I'm going to sew even the small pieces. I'll show you how to do it. It's very easy, don't worry. And now that I have all of them, my idea was turn the card and then cut, right? But because this adhesive is not permanent, they are falling apart. So then I'm using a different technique, which is marking with the ruler where I want to cut. And then once I have marked all the margins, I will just use my scissors and cut the pieces. Okay, and now we are going to sew this little piece. And you'll say, how is she going to make it? Well, that's very easy, don't worry. You just pull the needle down, and then with the wheel, manually, you will be turning it. And then the same technique as before. Once you reach one edge, you leave the needle down, and then you turn the paper, and manually you keep on doing this. If you're doing it manually, it's not that difficult, because you can be very precise. And that's it, you see, one done. So you just pull the thread and that's it. So now it's time to prepare the sentiment. I'm going to do the same that I did in the last video, which is a gold embossing. This is not the final sentiment that I'll be using, but I will just show you how I did this one, because the other one should be the same. So you use the Versamark ink and you stamp your sentiment. Then you put this powder and then you just emboss it with a heat tool. I would show you some more, but guess what happened? My camera went off again. So then we're missing some steps, but I will explain them to you. So what I did was sticking the diamonds with foam adhesive to the postcard, so then they are like outstanding and you can see that they make nice shadows. So then I also embossed another sentiment, this time in a stripe, and then on that stripe I put washi tape, which is very thin and it's also with golden diamonds up and down, so then I frame it. And now what I'm doing is making some holes with a pin, so then I can pass the brads on one side and on the other. And then I'm turning and opening the brads to set them in place. And now what I'm going to do is prepare the base of the card. I'm selecting this brown paper because I think that it will make the whole postcard highlighted a bit more. So what I will be doing is manually and eyeballing, marking where do I want to cut. So then I'm using the scalpel to mark where I want to cut. And for once I will not cut with scissors but with a trimmer. And once this is cut and ready, I will fold the card, and for that I will use again the scalpel and mark the middle. And once I have the middle, I will fold the card. But you will see that it's not perfect because I bulleted it, right? So then I will fix this by using some scissors and I'll cut the excess. And then it will be okay. So now what I will be doing is getting some vintage photo distress ink and I will distress the edges. Okay, not much to the left, just sticking the focal point to the base of the card with permanent adhesive this time because we don't want that it falls. Then once this is done, what I will be doing is sticking the happy birthday on the card as well. and I will be using this foam adhesive. So again, it's a bit outstanding from the card. But if you see, I'm not covering the brads because I don't want them to make any bulky, weird shape. So I'm putting the foam adhesive in the middle of the sentiment and then 2 little pieces on each side of the brad. And then when this is done, what we will do is peeling off that part so then we can stick the sentiment on the middle of the card. And that's it. So this is the card for today. I hope you like it. Here are some close-up photos so then you can see the details. I hope you had fun and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!